Hello, welcome in everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be a twin flame energy update. What I want you to keep in mind, this message is all about guidance and empowerment. And so when we do get to the card portion of the reading, I'm not here to tell you what to do. These are channeled intuitive insights and downloads from the higher realms, from my higher guides. This is just to help give you a nudge in the right direction. So don't take anything personally. This reading is just opening up an opportunity to understand the current energies of the Twin Flame Collective. We all have the power in our hands to create the life that we want. So I wanted to make that clear before jumping into the message. So let's talk about these intuitive downloads that I received. And so I feel we are in this gateway portal of reformulizing these unions. And so I feel the masculines are in a state of being overly logical, and they are likely believing that this logical perception is protecting them from misfortune at this time. And so the energy really is saying, hey, I feel a lot of the masculines are in a state of a little bit of being ignorant when it comes to the path. And they think if they can, logically protect themselves, they will be free from the karmic retribution. And we all have to face that karmic retribution on the awakening journey. And so Godhead Thoth was very close to the masculine collective, and there was a light shining down on the pleasure energy. A lot of the masculines get caught up in pleasure, in addictions, in seductions, and in temptations on the journey. And so they are learning a valuable lesson, I feel, right now about discipline. So a lot of the masculines have this exaggerated projection of self-discipline, but they've really abused the pleasure around them, is what I feel. And so they are kind of being urged to change their ways. And this is kind of forced right now, I feel. And so they're feeling like they're being punished, is what it feels like. And I want to say we are never, ever punished on the journey. And so it's just the right moment for these circumstances to kind of boil to the surface in order to get the masculine on the path of acceptance. And so ultimate pleasure is with the divine feminine, and that cannot be achieved without the perfect divine timing. And so there's a recognition, I feel, going on for a lot of the divine masculines in the collective when it comes to their limitations of self, and there's this intolerance, I feel, of these blocks coming up. And so they've thought that they've gotten away with it when it comes to the suspension of the judgment, and so they're in this energy of glorifying their ego at the expense of others. And so right now there's a huge exposure, I feel, when it comes to the masculine maybe taking advantage of others. And so the feminine is always, I feel, like this mothering energy for the masculine. But right now I feel there's this dynamic playing out between the masculine and the karmic, which is like a mother-child dynamic. And so I don't know that everybody can fully understand that in its capacity, but there's a lot of irresponsibility, I feel, surrounding the divine masculine in this energy update, because a lot of them have taken the easy way out. The feminine rises above. The feminine, puts up those boundaries and says, hey, this is what I'm worth. And instead of, being responsible, they've refused to comply to divine will, to divine order, and they've taken the easy way out. And so when a divine feminine is in her power and the masculine is afraid to step into his, they will choose a weaker woman. They will take the easy way out. They will choose somebody where they don't have to put much effort into a situation, and they feel that this is them applying themselves in that diligent masculine energy. And so art is more valued when the artist usually is dead, right? But I do feel there's no secret formula to this union type energy. And so right now, I think the masculine is trying to rationalize his irresponsibility, and there's like a refocalization going on within the masculine collective. And so they can't keep justifying this irresponsibility, and they cannot keep maintaining it, is really what I felt. So the number 4 was very prominent, which is connected to the divine masculine. And I heard liar, liar, pants on fire. And so the masculines, I feel, are in this connection, and they're role playing almost like an actor. And so there's a very fine line between fact and fantasy. And so it's like they've played into the fantasy to protect them from stepping into their true sense of purpose. And now they have been so misguided, it's really hard for them to break through the illusion, to break through the fantasy, and to come into that fact. And so right now I feel there's a major portal of humiliation that the masculines are being brought through because they have been seduced. And so they've kind of allowed others to assume responsibility for them, almost like a shield, to avoid this potential punishment that they feel this is. And so the masculines have really done an awful lip service to the divine feminine when it comes to the cycle of all of these unsatisfying false values that they have played into. And so the feminine, I feel, is in this exalted state, and she's receiving the rewards, she's receiving the recognition, and she's receiving the success. And the masculine is now having to acknowledge all of the cynicism when it comes to accepting the leadership role and the higher divine position. And so the lip service energy, I feel, is just this repeated pattern over and over again. And so I feel there's this conscious knowledge of the abuse towards the feminine coming forward, and they cannot escape the laws of karma. They cannot escape the process of spiritual discipline. And so as the feminine develops through her experiences, and she applies self-restraint, she applies discipline, she applies all of these spiritual techniques into her path, and she's already gone through the logical process and has dropped into the heart, and has recognized the complete understanding of, hey, the masculine still has not completed that cycle, right? And so it's the feminine that truly has the patience to wait. We have to wait out the process, and many of us wait many years. Some of us are on the journey 20 years, 10 years, 7, 8 years. And so the masculine is in the detriment right now, in the fall, needing to find the gall to accept the price of this excess and this punishment, so to speak. And so there's this incompleteness, I feel, within the masculine's life. But this is the gateway of revolution. It's the gateway of measure for measure, eye for an eye. I was shown the number 7, then the number 4, and then the number 29. And so the Chariot, the Emperor, and the 3 of Wands. And so this is where the masculine, I feel, is being asked to apply that mental awareness to all of these questions that keep coming up, and to use these questions to fuel taking action. There's a lot of doubt, I feel, surrounding the masculine about the future, and the future is never guaranteed. We don't get to decide when this union completely formulates in the physical reality. But there's huge potential right now for the masculine to overcome doubt. And so I do feel he's being tested. He's been sustained in that false foundation through fantasy, addictions, and illusions. And so oftentimes the feminine is the one that people seek out. And it doesn't mean that we have all of the answers. None of us have all of the answers, okay? Let me make that very clear. None of us have all of the answers. But the feminine usually is the one that people seek out for that guidance. And so when we use our mental and our emotional intelligence and bring that into the awareness of the collective, this does create this pressurized energy of doubt for the masculine. And so sometimes this doubt can last a lifetime. I know of twins that have been in separation almost, it feels like, an entire lifetime. But we do need to rely on our spiritual authority to guide us forward. So there's always going to be questions. We're always going to be tested. And there's really no correct path, because there's going to be course corrections along the way. And so when we concentrate on our own personal energy, and we understand the patience of waiting for the right timing, that is when all of the answers will come forward. But ultimately, the twins are here to formulate a new path, to formulate new earth. We are here to bring people together around us in a state of unity. And so The twins are here to provide solutions. We are also here to provide solutions to the own questions about our own lives. And so we are here to open up a gateway of understanding, a gateway of acceptance, and to bring forward truth. A lie is comfortable. A truth is very uncomfortable. And so we have to let go of these mistruths in order for our mind to kind of get right. And it takes time to bring all of these mistruths to the surface. So I feel right now the masculine is really spending a lot of time in a state of doubt, in a state of questioning, and trying to figure out how to resolve this issue, this chaos of the mind is really what it felt like for the masculine, was the chaos of the mind. I was also taken to this very powerful energy of the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups can also be like a double-edged sword. It can mean wish fulfillment, but it can mean potentially addictions. And so we are in this massive gateway, I feel, of awareness and rejection. And so whether the masculine is being rejected or has to reject somebody, rejection is part of the transformation process. And we do have to reject the karmic soul ties, the karmic soul contracts, and we have to clear all of these past life soul contracts in order to be fully rooted in our highest principles. 1111 on the timer. And we are not in this journey simply for power and control, or power and money. And so we are here to do in our heart of hearts what we know is right. And this is for the community. This is for everybody. And so there's like a necessary evil, I feel, playing out for the Twin Flame Collective when it comes to this revolution. I know a lot of the feminines go through the journey in separation, and they do not feel supported. And this is what is necessary for the feminine to fully understand her power, her worth, and to maximize the expansion of the Divine Feminine Collective. And so this does ensure the viability of grounding in these sacred unions. And so there's a lot of new awareness, I think, coming through for the Divine Feminine at this time of acceptance. Just acceptance of what was, acceptance of what is, and acceptance of not knowing exactly where we will go moving forward. And so this karmic reckoning that a lot of the masculines are facing is due to their misuse of influence, their misuse of power in a previous life. And this is necessary for this to be cleared out before the masculine can take creative action towards the feminine. And so they're in this helter-skelter syndrome type energy. And so I feel a lot of the masculines keep committing these acts of disorder in order to prove like, hey, disorder does exist and peace isn't out there. And so a lot of the masculines too are so oversensitive to rejection that they will actually reject the feminine before she can reject them. And so we're kind of in this divine portal of the last resort is what it felt like. And so like the masculine is being exhausted of all of his resources. There's this overwhelming revolutionary rage, I feel, building below the surface, this urgency below the surface when it comes to no longer negotiating values and morals. And there's a tendency here where I feel the masculines are just in this state of maybe they've been popular and they're a little bit discontent. But the feminine really does need to find her determination to choose the peaceful avenue. That is what we came here for, is for peace, is for change, and to create satisfaction in our lives. And so there's no other course possible for me but to stay the course on the journey. I know many of the feminists will say time and time again, I'm done with Twin Flame, I'm off the journey, and yet the journey is still there and we still get pulled back onto the journey. And so the feminine feels, I think, at times like we cannot reject this counterpart situation. And so you might be having to remove yourself from certain situations because I do feel the feminines too, we have to reject a lot of potential suitors and relationships as part of us getting rooted in our faithful principles of loyalty towards the counterpart. And so Pluto energy was very strong. I feel with Pluto in Aquarius, it will be moving into Capricorn. I believe it is on next Sunday. In a week from today, it will be moving back into Capricorn. And this will be the final detriment or the final fall, I feel, for the divine masculine collective. And so there's like a savageness coming forward with the divine forces when it comes to the masculine being forced to eliminate the old order, the old world order. And this is permanently scarring him. And he needs to clear all of this insensitivity to rejection and rejecting, I feel. So the masculines are being encouraged to reject the old order and to face the fear of potentially being rejected by the divine feminine if they come forward. But there's that scar on the heart when it comes to the past karma. And so we're at the gateway or the crossway or the divine Y point of harnessing in these higher principles and embodying these higher principles. And a lot of the twins are here to be speakers on a public platform when it comes to reordering this negative social agenda and embodying the higher principles when it comes to human rights and this new valued placement of the new world order. And so there's a lot of sensitivity, I feel, that the feminine feels when it comes to the needs of society. I'll never forget the heart activation and the intense feelings and emotions of the collective consciousness and all of the pain. And then the masculines, you know, they make all of these promises, and they don't follow through with the promises. And so now they are having to face these consequences of taking advantage of others and their insensitivity to the hurt and the pain that they have caused the divine feminine. And there is like a reorganization going on within the collective consciousness connected to the twin flame collective. And so the feminine needs to embody practical provisions at this time. And there is a need to understand that divine timing will ensure this new understanding. And so be patient and keep providing your service when it comes to the needs of others, divine feminine. There's a concentrated energy surrounding the divine masculine collective at this time that is redefining their inner authority, I feel. And so they are, you know, having to face those karmic expenses where they have kind of not honored the higher principles and where they have rejected the higher principles in seeking outside validation. And so I feel the feminine is in this state of magnetic attraction as well at this time, where you are attracting a lot of support. You're attracting a lot of support that will help you expand when it comes to taking action with your creative endeavors. And so this really is the time where we can no longer be fence sitters, divine feminine. This really is the gateway of committing to your path, committing to your work, whether it means starting a web page, starting a business, really embracing the ability to heal and transform others. And the masculine is sitting there in this like stubborn energy, and this will lead to a fatal rejectionism if he does not take the lead. And so in the portal of initiation, and I heard the witness returns, and this energy has come through for me quite a bit throughout the years, the energy of the witness returns. And so I was shown karmic debt 13, I was shown the 9 of Cups, and I was shown the 4 of Wands. And so we're in this channeled portal of energy of synthesis, of something being synthesized. And so we are very sensitive, empathic beings on this journey. And I felt the linking of the solar plexus to the root chakra. And so there's something about the tribal ego circuit being activated. And there is something about the acceptance of rejection of the false marriage. So maybe your counterpart is in a false marriage and there's a need to proceed with divorce proceedings. There might be the finalization of divorce proceedings, but ultimately we are in this gateway portal of revolutionizing society. And so where the masculine is at in this karmic situation, this is a direct result of the hierarchies. And so in spiritual terms, there is no hierarchy. We are all equal in the spiritual realms. There is no hierarchy. And so get ready to experience emotional waves, I feel, of energy. And so none of us are placed above one another on the spiritual hierarchy. And so there is no need to obey anybody, and take this reading as an opportunity to step into your power. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just channeling a message. I'm just translating the energy that I downloaded into words for you. I'm not here to exert power. I'm not here for any of that. And so this really is a journey of accepting. So, you know, I have access to these messages. These are resources for me that I've been asked to share with the collective, to redistribute within the collective as part of my initiation. And so we do have to kind of own our journey, own our gifts on behalf of the universe. We can't squander the gifts. We all have a message to share. And so right now, I know the overwhelming emotions and sensitivity of the connection to people, the connection to animals, the connection to earth itself. And that is what the feminine holds resonance with. We have this deep connection with Mother Earth, the divine feminine. And so we have to be mindful of those people too that we accept into our circle. Only allow people into your circle that will fully stand by you and support these higher principles. There's a lot of exposure when it comes to frenemies at this point in time, I feel. And so you have to be inclined to reject the frenemies in order to rise above. And so we don't have a social agenda. The twins don't have this negative social agenda. We came here for change. We came here for reformation of the collective consciousness. And so we are here to redistribute the collective wealth. And so if you look at society as a whole, so many people are focused on a negative mindset. They're in a state of lack of consciousness, lack of abundance. And when people are so focused on, hey, I don't have enough to eat, I don't have enough to pay my bills, this is when people go to war. This is what creates a revolution. And so we cannot avoid filling our needs either. And so right now we're in this portal of a necessary evil as a last result. And I do feel there's going to be some type of collapse when it comes to the old world order and the financial institutions. And we have to hold the faith. We have to hold the higher principles because right now there's a major rejection of old earth order, and it is creating almost like a nervous anxiety tension. And there's fear, there's consequences, and the energies are very unpredictable at this time. But we cannot avoid misfortune, because misfortune is the pathway to humility and is the pathway to Christ consciousness. So let's jump in with some tarot. Let's see what else needs to come through with the tarot today. Let's jump in with the Heart's Hidden Secrets deck, and we'll set the tone for that. So we got Heart Fog. We got Heart Fogged coming out on the bottom of the deck. Mixed signals, blocked emotions. And so when we block our emotions, everything will be messed up. And so there might be a higher heart opening going on here. The truth will always come out. The truth always has a funny way of coming out. And so this is about honest intentions. So release the heart fog. Let's dig into the Divine Masculine Collective first. We'll get a few of these cards for the Divine Masculine Collective, and then we will dig into the Divine Feminine. Messages for the Divine Masculine Collective. Very quiet cards today. Masculine Collective, please. I'll take it. It was almost a jumper. The main energies surrounding the Divine Masculine, the heart fog. I felt that was the masculine. So we got heart fog and emotional storm. We only got 2 cards out for the Divine Masculine. We got the heart fog. We got the emotional storm. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the bluff. So the masculine is still wearing a mask. They're still pretending. And then we get the conflict card below the mask. We get the breaking point. And we get broken. And I'm going to take it. We get sorrow. We get hopeless, oh my goodness, and we get shocking. And so right now, I think the masculines, I'm going to just move all of my stuff out of the way here. I guess we're going to really dig deep into this message today. I feel a lot of the masculines are in this energy of feeling abandoned. And so the central energy surrounding the masculine is this feeling of overwhelm. They're at their breaking point. They are in the energy of needing to go deep into the broken heart energy, feeling the separation. A lot of the masculines avoid feeling the separation because they've blocked their emotions and because they've been giving mixed signals. So they're in a state of inner turmoil. They are in a foundation that is very unstable, that is definitely being negatively affected. They could be facing conflict. They're in a situation where they're incompatible with this person. There's a clashing of differences, and it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. And so the masculines are feeling hopeless. They're in a state of sinking despair. They're falling apart. They're finally having to face the loss of the divine feminine, and they're going to have to grieve in order to overcome this depression. And so I feel like a tower energy. I don't know if the masculine has left the karmic or if the karmic has abandoned the masculine, but there's this energy of walking away, and walking away with a very coldness attached to a certain foundation here. But this is what is needed for this heart awakening for the divine masculine collective, in order for them to be receptive to their own inner empathy and this emotional vulnerability. And I do feel they are spying on you, divine feminine, and they are lusting after you. And I think a lot of the masculines convince themselves that the feminine is this forbidden fruit. So all of the non-committal energy has to be cleared. All of the sexual energy has to be cleared. And so we're digging into the divine feminine. I guess we're going to get 9 cards out for the feminine here. We get ecstasy, we get escaping, and we get chemistry. We get karma for the divine feminine. We get stress as the central energy for the divine feminine. And we get intuition. We get thinking. We get longing. And we get a new perspective for the divine feminine. So the second you release the energy of craving, aching, and wanting the counterpart, it's a very liberating feeling. That's when you realize you're better off, right? That's when the clear headspace comes in. And so if you are longing, missing your counterpart, craving your counterpart, desiring your counterpart, is likely a mirror effect of the masculine craving you, and you're feeling that. So if you're feeling stress, turbulence, or this internal argument out of nowhere, you are feeling the masculine, I feel, going through the consequences of this cause and effect of his past actions. And so the twins do pay back the karmic debt together. We are not separate, although we have our own separate lessons to learn. And so divine feminine, be mindful though of chasing thrills. Be mindful of using a good time or excitement to avoid or block or push away emotions connected to the masculine. You can't escape the journey. Trust me, I've tried to walk away. You cannot escape the journey of twin flame because of the attraction, because of the spark, because of the initiation, and the magnetic attraction. And so really tune into the frequency of your heart song. There is a deep inner knowing that there's a very telepathic connection going on here. We get confusion. And so I do feel too like there might be confusion and uncertainty. Maybe you're unsure, but I want to say the masculine is only devoted to you. He is only devoted to you. And so release the craving, release the negative emotions, and release the negative attachments, and understand the importance and the value of this connection. The feminine holds the emotional depth. And so I do feel there is some type of coming to Jesus moment playing out in the energies in this update. There is forgiveness being granted. There is the energy of the great return. And so I feel we're not cursed. It does feel like the twin flames were cursed, and maybe we were many lifetimes ago. But there's a lot of mirrored feelings. There's a lot of shared feelings going on in the energies. There's a lot being reflected back and forth right now. And so you are not hexed. You have not been cursed. We are here to heal and clear this ancestral karma, where it does feel like this has plagued your ancestral lineage lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And so we are in the gateway portal of a second chance. It's going to require the masculine taking a risk. The masculine is supposed to take the lead. The feminine is supposed to attract. And so there might be an opportunity to make amends. But there's so much resistance, I feel, below the surface. So the opportunity is here, but there's a need to get out of a negative mindset. So let's go a little bit further with the divine masculine. We'll get some angel wisdom tarot cards today. Oh, we get the Five of Swords in reversed and the Justice. There's that karmic reckoning connected to the divine masculine. And so they're needing to face that unwise choice where they chose somebody who lacked integrity. They chose a frequency match that they needed to go and learn some lessons about having questionable motives with. And so they took a leap. They took a gamble. They went towards a very unwise choice. And now there is like a karmic reckoning taking place here because they didn't come from a place of integrity. And so I feel the masculine is seeing all sides of the situation with clarity at this point in time. We get the Lovers reversed. And so there's that unwise choice, right? They chose karma. They didn't choose to embrace true, deep, and intimate love with the divine feminine. And now they are needing to recover, I feel, from some type of illness or some type of upheaval in their lives. What else needs to come through for the divine masculine? I just feel they might be struggling with some heart issues, some health issues when it comes to making a choice. But I feel the masculines are definitely at that final straw when it comes to the separation of the incompatibility within that karmic soul contract. And yeah, so they're still clinging. They still have not chosen to walk away yet. We get the Hermit, the Eight of Cups reversed, the Eight of Swords reversed. I do believe it is the karmic that is likely going to be rejecting the divine masculine. I do feel she's had enough, or he. It's not really gender specific, so role reverse. If you are a woman and you're the divine masculine or vice versa, it's really not gender specific. But I do feel the masculine is facing maybe slander, maybe the karmic is publicly blasting them all over social media. But there is like a breaking away from a very entrapped soul tie type of situation here. A lot of the masculines lack the self-confidence to move on from this situation. Even though they're seeking more from life, even though they are on a spiritual quest, they refuse to make these big life changes. And so the change is going to be forced. I feel forced change for a lot of the masculines because it is time to take responsibility right now. And so the masculines are facing some bad karma. They're facing challenges and delays. Maybe a lot of unexpected, unfortunate events keep taking place for the masculine until they travel towards the divine feminine. So what needs to come through for the divine feminine? Okay, you need to stop being afraid to be independently owned and operated. And so the Nine of Coins in reverse, the Four of Cups in reverse, and wise counsel. If you have avoided stepping into an entrepreneurial path, the energy is saying, hey, you are here to build a tribe. You are here to build a spiritually minded community. Stop looking back at the missed opportunity. Nothing that is meant for you will ever truly elude you, divine feminine. Okay? The counterpart is meant to be with you. And even if they've been distracted, you got to stop being distracted by all of the little tiny details in everyday life. You are also going through some type of wake-up call. Why are you bored or discontent? You are being asked to enjoy solitude. The feminine needs to learn to love herself and enjoy solitude. I do feel the divine is bringing you the answers that you've been seeking, divine feminine. And the divine is saying, you know what's best for you. You're here to break the mold when it comes to traditional relationships, traditional methods. You're here to help heal these toxic relationship patterns and to heal from codependencies. And so you can be happily and successfully self-employed. You are here to enjoy the solitary journey while the masculine closes out the cycles. It's your job to align. And so let go of the past. Let go of the missed opportunity. Stop holding on to the missed opportunity. What else? Look at that one come out pretty quickly. Yeah. Stop. Stop. And so stop playing into conflicts with others. Embody the energy of peace. Walk away from drama. Walk away from negative opinions. Walk away from people that really aren't worth your time. That's been a huge lesson for me the last couple of weeks. Stand up for yourself, divine feminine. And when you choose to do that, that is when this union will come to fruition. So send gratitude to the divine. Be thankful for the lessons. Be thankful for the angels guiding you. You are starting to fully ground in the energy of peace and prosperity. And the prosperity will come for you as soon as you ground in peace in your personal life. And so Two of Wands reversed. Either make a choice or the choice will be made for you, is what I heard. And so this is about learning all you can. This is about sharing your knowledge. Maybe it's time to start planning a seminar or an online course, but it's really time to get paid well for the skills that you have. And so it's time to go towards the rewards. It's time to take control back of your life. It's time to find that determination and the willpower to successfully reprioritize your path. Cancer energy. This is about getting in the driver's seat, taking control, and going full steam ahead, and trusting that the rewards will come from all of the hard work that you have put into the journey. So let's get some more messages with the Twin Flame Oracle deck. My hand-made Twin Flame Oracle deck. Look at that. Self-love. Self-love is truly the alchemy of hearts. And so there's a massive energy clearing taking place. So cleanse your energy field, open up the flow between you and your twin, and protect yourself right now. So what are the closing messages for the twins when it comes to this energy update? Delays kind of just flew out on your side. We got wholeness in reversed, flipped out on the divine masculine side. And on the top of the deck, we get intuition. So listen to the subtle messages. There is some type of telepathic connection going on here. And so your body will be signaling to you what the masculine is going through. You will be super sensitive to these energies throughout the chakra system. I can always feel the cords in the lower chakras. And you're here to master self-love, divine feminine, this energy clearing. And so we are in the process of closing out all of these old, outdated soul contracts, these karmic soul contracts. And these transits are not playing this time around. And so do feel there's still a massive clearing in these retrogrades before the cosmic forces will support movement forward, because right now the masculine is having a hard time balancing the inner feminine and the inner masculine energies. Oh yeah, balance. So find your center, find your inner peace, divine feminine, because I do feel the divine masculine collective is awakening. They are awakening to this higher conscious identity, to this infinite light that they are here to embody. And I do feel there's a lot of astral travel. So there's a lot of journeying and meeting in the fifth dimension. So meditate, connect with your twin in 5D and above. There's a lot of clearing that goes on in astral dream space. So keep a dream journal by your nightstand and trust that you do hold the key. Your soul holds the blueprint to this twin flame reunion. So spend time mastering your gifts. That's the key. Spend time mastering your divine gifts in order to activate the soul song, the heart song. And that is what will bring in this miracle, because nothing is impossible. So, and make the space. Do you even have room for the counterpart to arrive in your life, divine feminine? And that's kind of what I've got for an energy update. So if you would like to book a more in-depth reading, if you would like to book a twin flame reading with me, check out the description box below. I would love to get that booked in for you. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.